Brainwashing. Verb. Make someone adopt radically different beliefs by using systematic and often forcible pressure. The organization could brainwash young people. What if I told you about a place that is a torture camp designed for children? In this camp, located in a far-off planet, there are children that are encouraged to abuse other children. They are respected more by faculty and staff if they are spiritually, emotionally, and physically abusive with other students whom they deem rebellious. On this fiendish plane, children climb up the hierarchy ladder the more they tear down another child's spirit. They are given privileges that the other students do not receive. Some children are force-fed if they do not eat everything on their plate. It will sit there for days at a time until there's an empty dish. If children were to vomit, the dictators will make them eat it. Some children are starved and are only allowed to have one slice of cheese, if that. If you could only see these worn out and frail bodies, one would think they are a skeleton heading for death. Some children are given dog food only as a privilege. Some trapped in a cage naked and are brutally sodomized because he is gay. Demented dictators use their horrifying tactic to convert him to being straight. Forced labor without water or pay, isolation for days, weeks, and months at a time are only to name a few. In this biosphere, adult dictators running the ship are feeding these children negative reinforcements. Their name-calling includes manipulators, liars, thieves, alcoholics, druggies, degenerates, sluts, whether it is softened up with a biblical name or not, losers, bad decision makers, home wreckers, and the list is increasingly magnified hourly until they believe it. In this place, children are forbidden to discuss the outside world. Otherwise, there is a repercussion of punishments. Children can no longer mention friends' names, movies, songs on the radio, books, movie stars, say the word pants, discuss their boyfriend or girlfriend, and are silenced in every way possible. After a while, children start to manifest this is the best place for them. By now, they are convinced they are the problem, as opposed to the whole family dynamic. Children are brainwashed that they will end up dead in prison, end up with an abusive spouse, or kill themselves. These dictators convince these children that they are nothing without them. When children are first dumped off on this foreign soil from the outside world, newcomers wonder why no other child takes a stand and troubleshoots outside the box. It is extremely eerie that everyone is beating to this horrifying drum. It's almost as if one walked right into the twilight zone. What seems to be abnormal to the newbies is quite normal to the other students after months of conditioning. Dorm silence is happening frequently. Children can no longer speak their mind or have an opinion without being tortured. They march to the beat of the camp's ludicrous drum solely out of fear. What if I told you children could not urine or have a bowel movement whenever they want and are force-fed to wear diapers? If an accident happened, this form of degradation is to instill terror in the other children, so they hold in their bodily waste. Oh, and by the way, before they cross that wonderful bridge of torment, they are currently forced to drink an absurd amount of water. When these children first come into this gruesome camp, their personal belongings are confiscated. There is no form of communication, no emails, phones, or free writing. Everything is monitored. When parents come to visit after the first 3 months, the child is so terrified of telling them what goes on behind closed doors. Children are being watched closely by staff, and if a child is brave enough to tell the truth, their already living nightmare will only get worse. On this planet, the laws do not apply, and righteous dictators can get away with brutally raping girls, sodomizing boys who are gay, shock treatment, beating, sex trafficking, neglect of medical treatment, starvation, and murder. There are absolutely no repercussions of prosecution for these criminal acts. On this solar system, justice is no longer served. By now, you are wondering if a place like this actually exists. If so, is this hell? I regret to say this is happening in the United States of America. This so-called planet are lockdown reform schools, conversion therapies, rehabilitation programs, tough love programs, teen boot camps, straight programs, wilderness camps, and boarding schools. These programs are torturing our kids, and we turn a blind eye because they exist today. Shut down these billion-dollar industries that make their fortune from parents that are feeding them. Open your eyes of awareness and spread this around. If you are a survivor, please comment on this YouTube video below and tell your personal truth. The more stories that are attached to this blog, the more credible mine is. My name is Janine Miller, and this is Pieces of Victory.